All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Seattle Seahawks in tonight's video. I absolutely love the direction that this team is heading in, and I think after the draft, it's all going to be much more clear. Just because the draft isn't for like 5 more weeks, people are wondering why teams aren't making more moves, right? Like, oh, it's this Madden franchise. You've got all this salary cap money. Why aren't you going out and making big time, splashy, sexy moves? Well, Seattle did. They picked up first off DeMarcus Lawrence yesterday, but obviously the headliner is Sam Darnold, brand new quarterback one, QB of the foreseeable future. And the way I see it is it's 100,000% a retool and not a rebuild. You have to keep in mind, like, for example, here's the Seahawks' main headliners of free agency thus far. We're going to talk about it. Sam Darnold, Josh Joby re-signed, Ernest Jones re-signed, Josh Jones free agent, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jarran Reed re-signed, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. But folks, keep in mind, last year, the Seahawks defense allowed only 17.5 points per game over the second half of the season. That was top 3 in the National Football League. And so that's where you see Ernest Jones. That's where you see Jarran Reed. They cut Tremont Jones loose and they, upgrade him with DeMarcus Lawrence, who's at least going to be healthy or I guess maybe you don't know if he's going to be healthy because, of course, he was hurt last year. But if he is healthy, you're going to see just kind of double a Tremont Jones's production. And then you also have to keep in mind the Seahawks have 5 picks in the top 100 and 10 picks total. So last week, DK Metcalf traded for a second-round pick. Geno Smith traded for a third-round pick. So now Seattle has pick 18, 50, 52, 82, 92, and then they also have 5 more left. So this is all going to make, in my opinion, much more sense when the draft is officially over and like probably in July and August when we start heading into training camp. But obviously we have to start this one off with Sam Darnold. I'm sorry this has taken me so long, Seahawks fans. Welcome back to the channel. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Haven't made a Seahawks video in like a week. I was kind of waiting for you guys to go out there and get Sam Darnold once the report drops. But I really like this move. It's a really good contract, to be honest with you. 3-year, 100 million, 0.5, 55 million of that is guaranteed. You're a new offensive coordinator. Clint Kubiak was actually the passing game coordinator for San Francisco in 2023 when Sam Darnold was a part of that team. Now, he turns 28 in June, and that's my favorite part is he's 27 years old. I swear since the Seahawks were my 3rd ever NFL video I made, and I swear ever since Geno's season, his comeback player of the year award where he threw 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, we've been asking this question when talking about Seattle of, okay, is this the year they move on from Geno? Geno's a really good quarterback. He's going to get you into the playoffs or he's going to help you get into the playoffs, but can you win a Super Bowl with him? Probably not, but you're not going to have a losing season with Geno Smith as your QB. But every year as he gets older and older and older and the extensions start coming up, we're always thinking is this the year Seattle makes a move in the draft? And because they have the 18th pick overall, they decided to go with Sam Darnold for the quarterback of the future. And he turns 28 in June. He signed a 1-year, $10 million contract with Minnesota this time last season and just lit it up. He earned Pro Bowl honors. He led the Vikings to their best regular season win total at 14 since 1998. He also completed 66.2% of his passes for over 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions. And then the playoff game, they lost to the Rams in the wild card round 27-9. They got obliterated, and Sam Darnold got sacked 9 times. The biggest issue with the Minnesota Vikings at the end of last season was their interior offensive line. And so because Seattle has 5 picks in the top 100, and this is, folks, literally a littered with guard stud draft, I guarantee you they're going to be using a lot of these draft picks on their trenches for the next couple of years here. But Sam Darnold also had the 6th highest touchdown rate in the NFL at 6.4%, just below Joe Burrow at 6.6, and it was well above the league average of 4.8. Before 2024, though, which is why some people were skeptical of either bringing in Darnold or the Vikings re-signing Darnold, before 2024, Darnold had not thrown for 3,000 yards or 10 touchdowns since 2019, which was his 2nd season in the NFL. All right. but there's a lot of context in there. Like, kind of hard to have success when you get drafted out of to the New York Jets and then you get traded to the Carolina Panthers. Kind of hard to be a quarterback in both of those two cities. Still is, right? Where you land matters. And I think the Seahawks are going to be very pleased with Sam Darnold. He's just very solid QB. And as far as people saying he crumbled against Detroit in week 18, people said he crumbled against the Rams in the wild card round. I will just say the Vikings run was just kind of coming to a close. That interior offensive line was really holding them back. They lost their stud left tackle like halfway through the season. Their offensive line was just not working. And so I know it's kind of similar with Seattle last season, and hopefully they use a lot of this draft capital to invest in their offensive line. And I also just want to say, I hate to rag on Ryan Grubb, but I don't think the coaching staff offensively for Seattle last season was very good. And then we see a big time splash into Marcus Lawrence, 3-year contract worth up to $42 million. $18 million of it is guaranteed. Now he does turn 33 next month, and he only played 4 games this past season because of a foot injury. But in those 4 games, he had 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, and a 10.8% pressure rate. When fully healthy in 2022 and 2023, guys, his pressure rate was 13.8%. That's very good. Made a bunch of Pro Bowls. The dude's a stud. I was very surprised. So is Micah Parsons that the Cowboys ended up getting rid of DeMarcus Lawrence, and he just fits on this team very well because they needed to replace Tremont Jones, and it's very crowded there. You got Boye Mafe, Nwosu, Derek Hall, all those guys are on rookie contracts. But I like the move for DeMarcus Lawrence because if he's healthy, the guy's going to be an absolute gem. And then we have this, probably the last guy we'll talk about here, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. If you guys know, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. MVS is very intriguing. 1-year contract worth up to $5.5 million. Now, obviously, Tyler Lockett, at the time of this recording, is not on Seattle's roster. I still kind of have a feeling they're going to re-sign him. I'm kind of shocked that he's not on this roster moving forward. I saw that the Seahawks are rumored to be in the Cooper Kupp sweepstakes. I love the idea, but I don't really think he fits too well with JSN. But MVS is really intriguing because last year when he got traded to the New Orleans Saints with Clinton Kubiak, the OC for the Saints last year, now the OC for the Seattle Seahawks, he played 5 games with Derek Carr in the second half of the season. He had 12 catches for 288 and 4 touchdowns. So he's a big-time play guy. He's really going to stretch the field, help open up the middle for Sam Darnold. And like I said, because they have 5 picks in the draft, and first off, free agency is not even close to being over. It just started 4 days ago. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow or right now when I'm recording this, Seattle goes out there and picks up another wide receiver. But I do anticipate having 5 picks in the top 100 in such a good guard draft and wide receiver draft that they're going to prioritize and invest a lot of their draft resources into the offense for Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak. Folks, that's all we got time for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Go ahead, give me a grade and all of your thoughts and opinions on the Seattle Seahawks free agency thus far. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you soon. Peace.